So the carnivore diet has been growing rapidly in popularity all over TikTok, Instagram, other social media platforms. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about exactly what the carnivore diet is and why it's one of the most idiotic diets out there, especially if you're an athlete. And in fact, over the next 15 to 20 years, will probably contribute more to population control than COVID. So if you're not familiar with the carnivore diet, it is essentially a very restrictive diet where an individual only consumes animal-based foods. So eggs, steak, chicken, meat, sometimes dairy is allowed. It really depends on the person and how they're following the diet. And then we're going to be restricting all plant-based foods. So no fruits, vegetables, beans, whole grains, none of that, which right there should tell you all you need to know about this diet, because anyone who tells you that fruits and vegetables are not healthy foods is an absolute idiot. So let's take a deep dive into why the carnivore diet is absolutely idiotic and one of the worst diets that you can follow if you're an athlete. So first and foremost is that following the carnivore diet can set an athlete up for a lot of vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Things like vitamin C, folate, magnesium, antioxidants, phytochemicals only found in plant foods. You're not going to be able to get adequate amounts of these important nutrients from animal foods alone. And if you're an athlete deficient in any type of micronutrient, that's like poking holes in the bucket. That is not going to be ideal for optimal performance and recovery, especially when it's been shown that these plant-based foods that contain a lot of these vitamins and minerals help to reduce inflammation and improve recovery in athletes. The carnivore diet is also going to be inadequate in terms of fiber, so it's definitely going to mess up your digestion, potentially lead to constipation as well. And eating high amounts of protein and high fat proteins like steak and bacon, sausage, things like that, is just going to feel you leaving full and bloated and overall just like shit. Like if you've ever eaten a big greasy, burger from a fast food joint, you eat that, like you're just going to feel like crap for hours and hours after eating that meal. So most people feel exactly like that following the carnivore diet. So could you imagine feeling that way, having to step onto the court for a game or onto the practice field? Just not going to be great. The next downside to following the carnivore diet is that it's likely going to increase the amount of inflammation in your body, not decrease it. So people following the carnivore diet will say that it decreases inflammation because you're removing carbs and sugars. But that is actually not the case. And oftentimes in research, it's been shown that diets high in animal foods, especially processed animal foods, are actually going to be way more inflammatory than eating plant-based foods. And it shows that the plant-based foods often have an anti-inflammatory effect in the body. So we want to consume plant-based foods for that reason. And really the most important reason why an athlete should avoid the carnivore diet like the plague is that it is completely void of carbohydrates. For athletes training at high intensities and working out really hard for hours and hours a day, carbohydrates are going to be the main fuel source for the body. So if you're not eating any carbs, you're going to feel like shit. You're going to have low energy. You're going to be dehydrated because carbs help to, store water onto your body and help to hydrate the muscles. So you're just going to feel like crap. There isn't a single high performing athlete, a single elite athlete in any major professional sport, any Division I setting following the carnivore diet. And that's because all these athletes are smart enough to know and have smart people around them to tell them that they need to be eating carbs like potatoes, like fruit, like vegetables, get the vitamins and minerals that they need to help with anti-inflammation, to help with hydration, and telling them that following a carnivore diet where they're only eating meat would be one of the stupidest things that they could do. And then I don't know about you, but I don't have hundreds and hundreds of dollars to be spending on groceries every week. Typically, proteins are going to be the highest ticket item at the grocery store. So you're going to end up spending a shit ton of money if all you're buying is steaks and ground beef and eggs and Greek yogurt. Those are the most expensive items compared to your fruits, your vegetables, things like rice that are very inexpensive. So overall, it's not a very sustainable lifestyle to be following from a financial standpoint. The carnivore diet is also not very well researched at all. It is still a fairly new diet. It's only been around and been popular for maybe the past 5 years or so. So there haven't been any legitimate studies showing that eating a carnivore diet is better than any other diet for health or for athletic performance. But there have been many studies showing that diets high in animal foods, high in saturated fat that is going to be found in animal foods, is detrimental to health, and especially when that's all you're eating. Increase in inflammation, increase in cardiovascular disease, increases in certain types of cancer. Those are all things that have been shown in individuals who follow and eat high animal based diets and high quantities of saturated fat. And people following the carnivore diet will throw out that, oh, my blood work's great and I'm healthy and this and that. But again, you're looking at a very small snapshot in time. We haven't had studies that are following these individuals for 10, 15, 20 years to see how it's impacting their bodies. So at this point, we can't say that the carnivore diet is actually going to be a healthy way to eat like these people are saying, because we don't have the research to support that. There is tons and tons of research supporting that plant-based foods, your fruits, your veggies, your whole grains, those are all beneficial for health. We absolutely know that. So even though all the carnivore people are, eating their sticks of butter and bacon wrapped steak and all that, saying they're feeling great right now, I would love to be following these people over the next 15 to 20 years to watch how their health just deteriorates from eating this way, because I feel that it is exactly what we're going to see. So to sum it up, carnivore diet, one of the absolute worst freaking diets you can possibly follow as an athlete, and honestly, as just the average person in general. You're going to have nutrient deficiencies. You're not going to have enough energy for your training. You're not going to build as much muscle. You're potentially setting yourself up for health risks down the road. So it's a flat out do not follow, do not do this stupid shit, because it's only going to hurt your performance and provides little to no upside for your health in the long term.